A massive online boycott is pushing people to delete ChatGPT, and it all started with a fight over how AI should be used by the US military. Let me shed some light on it. Welcome to the next episode of the Wild Wild West of AI, where we round up the good, bad, and ugly of what's happening with AI so that you can embrace the best of it and dodge the rest of it. Anthropic, the company behind Claude, had an existing contract with the Pentagon, but when the military, under the new administration, tried to remove some of the guardrails that Anthropic had built in from day one, Anthropic refused to continue with the deal. Those guardrails were: don't use our AI for mass surveillance of American citizens, and don't use it for fully autonomous weapons that can kill without a human making the call. The Pentagon said no deal and designated Anthropic a supply chain risk to national security. President Trump ordered all federal agencies to stop using their technology. Hours later, OpenAI stepped in and signed the same deal with the Pentagon. They updated their contract language to include protections like banning domestic surveillance of US citizens and commitments to human responsibility in use of force scenarios. A boycott campaign called QuitGPT went viral. The campaign now claims over 2.5 million actions taken, which are a mix of pledges, social media shares, and reported cancellations of ChatGPT. Research shows that ChatGPT uninstalls in the US surged to 295% on Saturday, February 28, compared to a typical 9% rate. On the same day, Claude's US downloads jumped by 51%, briefly sending it to the number one spot on the Apple App Store. A lot of people are framing this as a simple moral story. Anthropic is good, OpenAI is bad. But that framing skips a much bigger, more uncomfortable question. If you believe tech companies should refuse to work with governments on defense, even their own governments, you're also saying that the private sector should have more power over national security than the governments themselves. Governments operate under laws and structures of authority. A tech company answers only to its leadership and investors. Some defense tech founders like Luckey Palmer argue that if governments are responsible for protecting citizens, tech companies cannot opt out of helping while still benefiting from the security those governments provide. Anthropic and its supporters have pushed back on that. They are not overriding the government. They're just refusing to enable specific capabilities that the current law doesn't address, like bulk data collection for AI-powered surveillance. Now, that's genuinely a hard problem. Laws move slowly, AI is moving fast. But here's the real tension. If tech companies are the ones setting the limits, a handful of CEOs decide what capabilities governments are allowed to have. A tech company refusing to cooperate doesn't remove power from the equation, it just shifts it from government institutions to the private sector. So the question isn't ChatGPT versus Claude, it's this: who should ultimately make decisions about how AI is used in national security? Governments or tech executives? So when we're thinking about topics like this, let's take the effort to think more deeply about them. Let's make the effort to think about what's really at stake.